Hi everyone. Today I'm going to solve the Leetcode question, most frequent number following key in an array. So this was a question that was part of a recent contest that just started this week. And what it is saying is that you're given a zero index integer array nums. You're also given an integer key which is present in nums, and for every unique integer target in nums, count the number of times the target immediately follows an occurrence of keys in nums. In other words, count the number of indices I such that I is less than or equal to n minus 2, nums I equals key, and nums I plus 1 equals target. And we want to find the target with the maximum count. So the test cases it's saying will be generated such that the target with maximum count is unique, so you don't have to worry about that. There's a couple examples here of uh, scenarios. So for example, the key is given as 1 here. And if you see 1, there's 100 and then 100 twice. So those are the two times that are coming afterwards. So for the target 100, it's just 100. That's the answer. And then for key 2, the output is 2 as well, because after 2 you see a 2 here, and then after 2 here you see 2, and then it's the same. So you see 2 3 times, and that's the only value that's coming as the maximum, so the answer is 2. Okay, so that's the question. It's a pretty it's under the easy category, so it's not too difficult of a problem. And there's a couple approaches that you can solve to do this problem. One way is you can use a map. So you could just be storing for every time that there's a key, you can store the value inside this map. And the way that this solution would work is you would just iterate to the array and then find out where every time there's a key, um, the occurrences, you would be storing that into the map, the key value pair of occurrences, and then that would be a solution. So that would be O of n solution. Another way that you could solve it is by using a max heap. So a max heap, if you know what that data structure is it's storing the maximum occurrences within the structure itself. So this might be better for this problem, but the only thing is whenever you insert something into a max heap, it takes log n time. So because nums is going to have n entries, this solution is going to be an n log n solution using the max heap. But the map is actually a better solution, because what you would be doing is you would first iterate once through the nums array and storing all the occurrences within the map, which would be n operation. And then afterwards, you would be iterating through all the entries in the map and then finding the maximum value, which is also another n operation. So that's 2n, which is the time complexity. Uh, but since you drop the constants, it's going to be an n solution. So O of n solution. So that's the map solution would actually be better than the max heap. But these are two different approaches that you could use to solve this problem. So now that I went over the different ways you can solve this problem, if you haven't already done this question, I would recommend you to pause this video right now and try to solve it yourself. Otherwise, I'm just going to start solving this question. So, all right. Now, just to solve this problem, uh, as I had mentioned, we're going to use the O of n solution because it's a better approach. And what we would do is we're going to create a map of integer m equals new hash map. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the whole nums array. Um, and then what we're going to do is um, if, and actually what we're going to do is, because nums.length, we don't want to overflow the array, because what we're going to do is we have to check the key and then we have to get the next value to find the maximum value. So what we can do here is we can just do -1 so that we don't go past the length of the array. So this is one of the edge cases here. And what we're going to do is check if the nums I equals key. And if it's equal to the key, then all we do is we just put this value into the hash map. So we're going to put nums I plus 1, which is the next value. And then what we do is we're going to get or default, because what this does is it's going to check if this value is already present within the hash map, and if so, we're just going to increment that value. So that's one of the functions within Java to do that. Get or default, which we're going to check, and then if it's there, we would put 0, and then we're just going to increment that value by 1, and that's how you do that. So that's basically all you need to do in this array, this first array. We're just going to get all the values here, and then we're going to create two variables, one for max count, as well as the max count and the max value. So we're going to get the value as well, and this is what we can just put it as 0 for now, because we're actually told in this problem that there's always going to be the key here. So if there was not a key, if that was one of the test cases, you couldn't do it this way. But because in the problem you're told that there's always going to be a value here, you can do that here, where you're just setting it as 0 at the start. So we're just going to go through the map. We're going to get the entry set. We'll do another for loop, map.entry, integer m.get entry set, m.entry set. And here we just get the values. If e dot, so we're in the key, we're storing the actual value itself, and then we're storing the occurrence here. So what we do is we're going to get the value here and then see if this value is greater than the max count that we have stored so far. And if so, we're going to put max count equals e.get value. Yeah. And then we're also going to put the max value. We're going to get that value, which is going to just be the key. So that's it. And then that should be all we need to do here. And then now when we just have to return this value, so we're just going to return the max value, and that should be it. So it passed the first test case, and then if you want to run the other one as well, it passed that one as well, and then I can just submit this value. And as you can see, my runtime is 100%, and that was the best that you can get for this submission. So that's how you solve this problem. Let me know if there's anything else that you would want me to solve as well. And if you have any other questions, leave it in the comments section below.